I recently decided to stop selling my info product that was making me over 30 grand per month at just 21 years old. And in this video, I'm going to break down exactly why I decided to stop selling it and why it's actually a good thing and, a bad thing at the same time. I'm going to be fully transparent. I'm going to really go into 3 different things on why I decided to do this and, just what we're actually doing right now. So the first thing is going to be that this info product that I was selling was very reliant on one platform. If you watched my past video, you know that everything that my business partner and I were really doing was through Instagram. The entire personal brand was through Instagram. All the ads were running through Instagram. And even the call booking and sales process was through Instagram. So everything was through that platform. And if you haven't lived under a rock, you know that TikTok recently almost got shut down. And one thing that I realized is that I don't want to be fully reliant on one platform, because recently my business partner's account started getting flagged on Instagram and it has been hurting us a lot. Think of it like if you're buying clothes from a website and the website is telling you, hey, beware of this site, make sure you review it. That's kind of what was happening to us on Instagram, really for no reason at all. And it was hurting us. And my biggest takeaway from that is that if I'm fully reliant on a platform in order to have my business go, then that isn't, a long-term operation that I can run. So I talked with my business partner. We decided to take a step back to really kind of, come up with maybe a different funnel, or really just look at our strategies and come up with a way to not be fully reliant on that app. Obviously, it's Instagram. That's going to be where reels are made. That's going to be where some ads are run. That's where we're going to be DMing potential leads. But there's definitely other ways, between email lists, between landing pages, all that type of stuff, that we don't have to have everything fully reliant on that app. And it's definitely good to kind of lay off Instagram for a little bit when we were dealing with the flags that we were dealing with. So that was the number one reason why I decided to stop selling for now, is to kind of lay off that platform for a little bit, take a step back, and have some diversity within the actual way we are getting leads and we are getting clients in our business, and not be fully reliant on a platform. Because for all the business owners that were fully reliant on TikTok, they were probably scared shitless when TikTok got banned for a couple hours. Now it came back, luckily, but I don't want to be fully reliant on any platform like that. So that was probably one of the biggest reasons. Now, number 2 is it almost felt like the audience that we were selling to was getting a bit burnout. And I think one of the biggest reasons for this is it was very much turning into not an organic process at all. Everything was pretty much coming from cold traffic and coming from ads. And if you've ever tried to work with cold traffic and close cold traffic, you'll know that it's a lot harder than organic. And I'm not saying we can't do that, and we were very successful with doing it, but the traffic is so cold that there definitely is a buying cycle, and some of these customers are going to take longer to actually buy your service, buy your coaching, than if it was organic. And me and my business partner talked, and we definitely really want to have an organic audience as well, because cold traffic is cool, and it's very good that throughout this process of selling, we've gotten good at closing cold traffic. Not great, but we made progress, and it's a good skill to have, because if you can close cold traffic, organic traffic is very easy. So what we want to do as we take a step back and stop selling momentarily is we want to build up the personal brand more, build up the brand, and really just have people fall in love with who we are as people and want to work with us, want to buy our product. And that's going to both up the close rate, just going to make everything a lot easier, while we can also have cold traffic coming in too. But we definitely want it to be a split and not just fully reliant on cold traffic and really only a couple leads at a time from organic traffic. So a big focus over the next couple of weeks for us is going to be actually growing that personal brand, growing our brand as a whole, to bring in a more organic audience as well before we start running cold traffic again. And the last thing that really, it's the third reason why we decided to take a step back and not sell as much, is as an online coach, as someone who's selling a community, a course, or an info product like us, you don't always have to be selling. That's a big misconception, is not every month is going to be like, oh, you hit 30K, you hit 40K, you hit 50K, you hit 60, 70, 100. Not everything's going to be like that. What you're probably going to see is you're going to do promotions, you're going to do launches. And what's going to happen is you might be at 10K, 12K, 10K, and then all of a sudden you go to 50K because you did a big promotion, you did a big launch. And some of the top people in this space that are, the biggest online coaches, the biggest communities, the biggest info products, they're doing these massive promotions and they're not always selling. They're building up wait lists. They're building up, just campaigns that they're going to do marketing wise. And, I kind of came to the realization of this is like, I don't always need to be, trying to get the next person to work with. I can take a step back, kind of analyze with what I'm working with, build up a list of people who are actually interested in working with me, my business partner, and what we have to offer, and then work with those people on a big launch and run up, instead of doing a 30K month, do 100K just on a launch. And that's one of the biggest things that I've realized and, I've kind of learned along this process is I don't always need to be selling. And, as I'm growing, I'm not always going to be constantly selling. So to recap, definitely the first 2 points, not having, Instagram, not being fully reliant on Instagram and Meta, and then also not having the organic audience. Those are probably the biggest 2 things that made me want to take a step back, kind of start to implement some of these strategies, start to build up, our product, our organic audience, using other traffic sources, especially YouTube. But the third thing I wanted to add on there is just you don't always have to be selling. And, that's for us. And that's also for, anyone that might be watching this that's trying to sell a coaching offer or trying to launch their own offer or working with an influencer or creator who's trying to have an offer. You don't always need to be selling. It's actually very strategic to be able to, have a big launch and then slowly let people in, build up a wait list. Like there's very good things that you can do with that. So that's kind of what happened with myself over the last month or so. And it kind of made me realize this. So I just want to be as transparent as possible and document this process because I know some of my past videos I talked about closing the deal and having a really big week. And I also want to show, I'm not saying this is a downside, but I also want to show that, it's not always just fairies and butterflies. Like it's sometimes, you need to take a step back and really analyze everything. And I want to show that whole process. So I hope you guys could take something from this and, maybe learn from some of these mistakes I made, learn from what I realized throughout this process. And I'm excited to show you guys, what I'm going to be doing going forward and how I'm actually going to build this back up to, be better and, 2x, 3x, 4x, 5x what I was doing. So I hope you took some value from this. If you did, please let me know in the comments. Let me know any questions. I'll reply to everything. Please subscribe if you haven't. If you're watching this, you're not subscribed, definitely subscribe. I'm going to be dropping like 1 to 2 videos every single week. And give a like if you like this video at all. And as always too, on Instagram, if my Instagram's in the description, if you have any questions about anything that I do, you can always just DM me on there. I will answer literally everyone. So yeah, hope you guys like this. Definitely drop a subscribe and I will see you guys in the next one.